Well, hey everybody, I'm John Rickland, and this is my review of WWE NXT on USA for October 16, 2019, and I enjoyed the show. It had some nice storylines with the women, who was going to face Roderick Strong for the North American Championship, and also a pretty well-paced show. Some nice video packages, some nice matches. Really, the 2-hour format for NXT has been hit and miss. There have been times where it has dragged a little bit, but overall, it has been a major boon to the NXT roster, and everybody has stepped their game up. So really with this, it was a lot of fun. You start off with recaps of last week's show, and then we start off with Tommaso Ciampa versus Angel Garza, and my God, Tommaso Ciampa coming back after just 7 months on the sidelines after neck surgery. That's a goddamn miracle. It really is. And I mean, he's on borrowed time. I don't know how much longer he really has. I think he knows that he's only got a couple years left, maybe. So it's nice that he's able to come back, so goddamn soon and be really goddamn good. And this was a nice, well-done match. There were a couple, stiff spots and everything, but this was a get-over match for Ciampa. It clearly was. There was a Daddy Ciampa chant, which was kind of funny. Don't get me wrong. It's not like Angel Garza got totally squashed. He got in a couple shots, but okay, really, Ciampa did pretty much just squash him. He had a move called, I believe, the Willow's Bell, draping DDT off the ropes, 1, 2, 3. And, okay, Ciampa is still in the ring. He beat Angel Garza. Okay, everything's going good. Undisputed Era shows up. And they hand a USB drive to the commentary team for some reason. They don't go to the production truck. They don't go to William Regal. They go to the commentary team. So, okay, that was a little bit odd, but the Undisputed Era also confronts Ciampa a bit, and okay, are we going to get, Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa at War Games? What are we going to get? We're probably going to get it sometime after that, or sometime just around that, because I think we're going to get Undisputed Era versus another team in War Games. I'm not exactly sure who. Please let me know in the comments who you think is going to be facing the Undisputed Era in War Games. But that was a pretty decent opener, and then we see, after we come back from commercial, that the USB drive shows Undisputed Era beating up Velveteen Dream, meaning 4 Caucasian men beat up 1 African-American man in Florida, news at 11. So we then go to Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Fabian Aichner and Marcel Bartel from Imperium. And this was a pretty fun match. You had Alexander Wolf there, obviously, as the 3rd member of Imperium. Walter was not there. This was good and hard-hitting, some well-timed spots, some great strikes. Lorcan and Burch, honestly, are one of my favorite tag teams. I have said it before, I'll say it again. If I had, billions of dollars and could sign anybody, if I started my own wrestling company, could sign anybody, I would sign Lorcan and Burch. I think they're money. I really do think they're money. And it would be a nice way to have some fun tag team matches. But anyway, Aichner and Barthel did end up taking this one, though Lorcan and Burch did not look weak. Aichner hitting that beautiful, springboard moonsault, jumping off the ropes again, hitting that. That's a real thing of beauty. And Marcel Barthel gets the pin. I always forget it's Bartel or Barthel. But he gets the pin, pinning Lorcan. Good match. It was short, but it was short and sweet, hard-hitting. Neither team looked weak. And then we get Johnny Gargano package, talking about his history, brief history, especially his history with Tommaso Ciampa. He has an interview with Kathy Kelly, and Kathy Kelly says, okay, what do you think of Tommaso Ciampa coming back? He's had a colorful history with Ciampa, teaming up with him, facing off against him, and okay, cool. I don't know what Gargano's future is going to be in NXT. It almost feels like he's kind of plateaued now, but I guess he's staying there for a while, which probably is smart because Raw, SmackDown are bloated, and even NXT's bloated, so they can find a way to just make people work on all 3 brands. It really may be the best case scenario to keep most people in NXT and rotate people in and out of there from the main roster aren't being used, that kind of thing. But that was a cool little piece on Gargano. And then we get Io Shirai versus Caden Carter, the former Lacey Lane. I actually enjoyed this match. It was mostly a showcase for Io. Caden did get in a few shots. Do not misunderstand me, but Io just absolutely crushed her. Special note, I fucking love Io as a heel. And she was a great heel. She was a great heel before, before she came to WWE. And I was a little worried if WWE was going to let her pull that off, but by God, have they, and oh boy, has she pulled this off, and absolutely just wonderfully. She hits the moonsault, 1, 2, 3, and then Io says she wants Shayna. Rhea, no. Bianca, no. She wants Shayna. And then Rhea shows up, and Rhea confronts her and says, well, if you don't keep my name out of your mouth, I have no problem shutting you up. Io versus Rhea, shut up and take my money. That much ability and that much young talent in the ring, that's going to be hard to beat. That could rival Io and Candice from TakeOver Toronto, too. That really could be good. If they had that TakeOver, it would be absolutely wonderful. And I don't think they will. It'll probably be on TV. But give those ladies 12 to 14 minutes, and they will tear the goddamn house down. It will be absolutely wonderful. But then we have Boa, who wants revenge on Killian Dane after Killian Dane beat him up last week after Cameron Grimes squashed him. So we then get a William Regal interview, and Velveteen Dream is unfortunately out of being able to face Roderick Strong next week for North American Championship. So he says, the upcoming match between Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic, whoever wins gets to face Roderick Strong for the North American Championship next week. So we have that match. And my God, these two keep topping each other. No, and not in that way. I run a clean show. I don't run a clean show, so you guys can misinterpret my words however you want. But after having that count out and then Dijakovic getting injured, they had two really good matches. One where Lee won, one where Dijakovic won, and that was going to be the rubber match. And there were some great power moves. This is one I encourage you guys to go watch. Keith Lee did focus on the arm of Dominik, mainly to stop the whole feast your eyes maneuver, which was smart. There was a nice choke bomb for two by Dijakovic later. He kept selling the arm pretty goddamn well. Spirit bomb by Keith Lee, but Dijakovic got out of the ring. Managed to pretty much just roll because of the momentum, get out of the ring. Beautiful delayed suplex where Dominik kept trying to get out of it, and Keith Lee wouldn't be denied, just kept holding him, kept trying to lift him up. Dominik would try to stop him, and then would just get eventually lifted and thrown. That was impressive. Poison Rana by Keith Lee, scary, absolutely scary. Please stop with the Poison Ranas. And then Roderick Strong interferes, pretends to be shocked. I'm not shocked at all. And William Regal even is, in that weird staging area that they have, says, oh, Roddy, pretty impressive, pretty clever, don't you think? Nope, you're going to face both guys next week. They're going to have Roderick Strong take on two big men at the same time. Stop thinking about it, Noah. Stop thinking about it. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm just kidding. A little inside joke for one of my Twitter followers. He knows. He knows. But anyway, it's just some jokes that we like to throw around. So, yeah. Undisputed Era is upset at Regal backstage for this decision. And then we go to Matt Riddle versus Bronson Reed. Better match than I expected. Much more of a squash at first. Riddle was tossing Bronson around, or tossing the Bronson, or, he actually thought that Reed meant weed. He was trying to smoke him. This review has gone completely insane as opposed to my other reviews. Anyway, Bronson did get in a few shots. Some good, a couple good shots, but in the end, it was just Riddle just destroying him and hitting the Bro Derek. I'm not the biggest Matt Riddle fan, necessarily. He is good in the ring. I mean, I don't have anything necessarily against him as a person. Something about the character just doesn't really connect with me. But I do love the bro puns. I can appreciate the bro puns. That much I can appreciate. So that was good stuff. So he beats Bronson Reed. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Bronson Reed. Myself and Durbinator are actually going to be at an NXT house show on Friday. So the SmackDown review will be delayed. But that's going to be interesting to see who we see among the NXT roster. One person we're not going to see is Kushida, because apparently he fractured something in his wrist and he's going to be out for a month. We get a Bianca video package talking about, facing off against Rhea Ripley next week. That's going to be a pretty interesting match. The winner faces Shayna. Please have it be Rhea, unless you want to do a three-way. But I would just have Rhea do it, and I would have Rhea take the title from Shayna. Because honestly, at this point, get it on somebody else. Because you still have some other storylines going. But they did build up a whole lot more women wanting to face Shayna. You had Tenaya Conte versus Tegan Nox, the returning Tegan Nox. Great to see her back. She's got 2 knee braces. God forbid if she suffers any kind of arm injury, then she's going to have a brace on her arm. And I'm not trying to make jokes, but God forbid, that's got to be just terrible for her to be able to, move around and everything. Credit to her, though. She's still young. She's talented. She is working really, really hard. And Conte did have some nice judo moves. She really did have a good showing here. But Tegan did end up coming back and, of course, end up hitting the Shining Wizard 1, 2, 3, or this shiniest of wizards, I believe is what Morrow called it. And it was good stuff. And then Tegan's being interviewed by Kathy Kelly ringside. Here comes Dakota Kai. They celebrate. And then suddenly Shayna and the two slugs show up. And I'm sorry, I'm going to call them the two slugs. Shayna has won me over to a degree. I can recognize that she is quite good in the ring. And with her style, it shows that she is going to be able to work well for a number of years. Probably about number 5 years if she wants to, because it is a safe style. And she is almost 40, but she is working really well. However, I'm sorry, Duke and Shafir are just rotten. They're just fucking rotten. They are goddamn terrible. That's why it's Shayna and the two slugs. Because I just can't bring myself to really give them much of a chance. They just aren't any good, in my opinion. So Shayna does run down Tegan and Dakota, saying to Dakota, well, you haven't done anything to earn a title shot, this kind of stuff. Dakota wanting a title shot and all that. And everybody's gunning for me. Are you going to throw your name in the hat? These were things that were said in the promo. Okay, good stuff. I mean, the two slugs did absolutely nothing. Well, they tried to look intimidating. I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it with them. Shayna, I can buy. The other two, I just can't. Finn Balor cuts a promo talking about going back and traveling paths that he had been down before, and that he will deliver a message next week. Cool. Good to see Finn Balor back. And then we get Boa versus Killian Dane. Boa actually starting off hot, hitting some moves, doing some stuff, and then Dane kept targeting the ribs and beating him up, hitting 3 Vader bombs, and then, a clutch that taps out Boa. There was a little more to this, but it was really just a squash match. It was nice to see Boa getting some offense. That was some cool stuff. But other than that, Dane just totally squashed him. And then we get a Leo Drew Gulak recap where Leo Rush is now the new NXT Cruiserweight Champion. And then we get Dane leaving as Pete Dunne is making his entrance, and Killian Dane's kind of confronting him and everything. And Pete Dunne, just in typical fashion, grabs Dane's fingers and just pops him. And then just can't be asked to even care. And then we get Pete Dunne versus Damian Priest. And, well, let me tell you, this was actually quite a fun match. It wasn't a match I knew I needed. A bit of an odd choice for a main event. I'm not sure what else you would have put here. You could have put Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic. I think you could have swapped those and you could have done, but hey, cool to see Damian Priest and Pete Dunne in the main event. And it was a good series of exchanges where Dunne kept focusing on the arm and the fingers, kept popping the fingers. Of course, Priest would come back with some power, some tremendous power, very good strikes and exchanges, a nice leaping dive off the ropes. That's really cool. Nice, cool rolling senton. And then those are two different things. But anyway, we get a choke slam for 2. Dunne looked like he was about to get the victory. Priest got his knees up after an attempted moonsault, but then a referee distraction, and then low blow, and then the reckoning 1, 2, 3. So Dunne has an out, and Priest got a victory. He remains undefeated. And I gotta say, this is actually a pretty enjoyable NXT episode. I'm gonna say B, though, and that's nothing against anybody here. I like the storyline building. I like this stuff, but none of the matches, outside of a couple, none of the matches really popped to me. Everything felt kind of short, which isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. But none of these matches, outside of storyline building, I'm really going to remember after a week. But still, B, I did enjoy this, and NXT on USA has worked pretty goddamn well. Hopefully, the roster continues to elevate and things keep going good. But anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retland, and I'll see you soon.